I'm gonna stop you right now because I'm gonna debunk this because it's the dumbest thing you're ever gonna say.
You've been arguing the same thing Michigan fans been arguing. Why would you do this to one of your top teams?
Yeah, it's a. I'm actually serious. It's a dumb name.
The sideline, forget about it. This baby's over. Oh my goodness! One man. Goodbye. Hello, Heisman.
And most especially in 310 days in Ann Arbor, Michigan, on the football field.
Another block. One more. He's gone. Touchdown. No flag.
Samuel cuts it back. Ohio State wins.
Here's the run again. Donovan Edwards. No. Can they catch him? No. Donovan Edwards again. Go down.
Alrighty, welcome back to another episode, Scarlet and Blue Show. We only have 2 more weeks of college football regular season remaining, and that's super sad. But it's coming down the stretch, baby. It's coming down the stretch. We got lots to talk about.
It's actually sad.
It is sad. It really is. It goes by too quick.
Yeah.
But lots to talk about today. We got, of course, the matchup in Happy Valley. We've got beating down Michigan State. Obviously got investigation updates. Top 25 projections. Lots to talk about today. Should we start
Central Michigan under fire?
Central Michigan under fire.
Oh yeah.
Lots going on here. So let's dive right in. You want to kick off with Penn State?
Yeah, of course.
What a game.
Yeah.
What a performance. There has been, if you're watching this show, you're a college football junkie like us. You've seen a lot of the news that's already come out. You've seen a lot of the opinions, the perspectives from different analysts, and you've probably seen stuff on Twitter. But I'll just say, I guess we can talk about it here. I'll just say what a performance, what an absolute gutsy performance by the Wolverines, by the staff. Send prayers to Pettiti, because that guy so badly needed Penn State to win.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. See, all right. See how I'm gonna stop you right now because I'm gonna debunk this because it's the dumbest thing you're ever gonna say. Why would the commissioner of the Big Ten want one of the top 2 teams in his conference to lose, knowing that they can make it to a college football playoff, or possibly having 2 teams in the college football playoff, and they could easily be one of them, and that'll make them money? No, Bryce, stop saying that. Stop pushing that false narrative. This has nothing to do with that. What it is that he did something because here's the truth of the matter. Your program is not more important than the rest of the 13 combined. So let's move past that and stop using that stupid narrative. I'm actually serious. It's a dumb narrative because it makes no sense. It makes no sense.
You've been arguing the same thing Michigan fans been arguing. Why would you do this to one of your top teams?
No. I said what I said. I said you can. I said you can do it. I said it's just stupid to do it at the end of the week. I said in terms optically, it's stupid to do it at the end of the week. I said it should have been done on Sunday or Monday. I never said it was wrong. Never said it was wrong. But I do think it's wrong, stupid, ignorant, all that, to sit here and say that Pettiti wants Michigan to lose. That's false. It's a lie. It's not even factual. It really isn't.
He just suspended the coach.
Who gives a
on Friday on the plane?
He has to, Bryce. He has to.
No, on Friday on the plane.
Talk about the game. Let's talk about the game. We can get to this later. Talk about the game because that narrative actually upsets me because it actually makes no logical sense.
It makes no sense.
And no, Bryce, it doesn't make any sense from your angle. The guy that was brought in to sit here and financially help the conference is not going to purposely and want his second biggest money maker in the conference to not make the playoff and to lose. It makes no sense.
Garrison, if he really wanted that, he wouldn't have done what he did. He would have let it play.
That's not Bryce. Did you win?
Yes.
Then what are you complaining about? What are you crying about?
He did something. So if we would have lost, I get to complain?
No, Bryce. Bryce, if you guys lost, I don't think it has anything to do with your coach. Your coach doesn't call the offensive plays. Your coach doesn't call the defensive plays. He doesn't do any of that. So what I'm saying to you is, if you are claiming that Pettiti he wanted Penn State to win, then you're being. I'm not even gonna say intellectually dishonest more. I'm just gonna say that's a dumb comment. That's a dumb comment.
You can say that, but it's just the way that he acted, how he performed, like did and
How
executed
he
all the. Let me talk. The way he executed all of those things shows in a way that he was pushing for that. The proof is there. Like Garrison, you wouldn't, like you said, he could have done that earlier in the week. Instead, he waited till Friday on a national holiday to do that. And then that leaves Michigan. And you know what? I bet Michigan probably prepared. I bet they were like, hey, something come across the table. But I bet you by the time they got on the plane, they thought, okay, we're probably good for this weekend. The guy is a coward who then launches this punishment, the suspension on Harbaugh at that game. And his life would have been so much easier if Michigan would have lost that game. Like, yeah, sure, the conference would have made money, but I don't think that's what he really cares about because he's doing this. Because if he really wanted the conference to make money, you wouldn't touch. And this is not me coming at it as a Michigan fan. If Ohio State let me finish. If Ohio State was in this position, I would say the same thing from the sense of, I'm the commissioner. I'm not going to just kill my cash cow. That would be stupid. But in essence, he's taking steps to do that.
I think it takes big balls to do what he did.
It does. Doesn't.
So don't call him a coward. No. You can't have big balls and be a coward at the same time. That's like what you
can have big balls and
actually, Bryce. It's what you're actually. It's like trying to do what you're doing right now. You're trying to be a villain. No. You're trying to be a villain and a victim. You're not a victim, Bryce. You're in this situation by your own doing. Now we can say, we can sit here. We can sit here and talk about the game. Or we can sit here and talk about these narratives that you say there's proof in, and where there's no proof at all. We can do. What do you want to do?
I was talking about how Pettiti needed Michigan to lose.
No, he didn't. See, all right, that has nothing to do with the game. You
got upset about it. I was just telling you.
No, I'm not. No. I'm not upset. I'm highly annoyed by the notion that you think he's trying to keep you guys out of the playoff. He's trying to hope you guys, not trying to hope you guys. He wants you guys to lose.
There's
stupid.
There's an active NCAA investigation going on right now.
Two of them. You have two.
If his main focus was to keep Michigan in the playoff for the reasons you just said, he would say, okay, we're going to let this play out. You can't argue that. That's exactly what it is.
Good God. He has to do something about it, Bryce. You are an institution, a football program under 2 investigations. The FBI is on your campus. There's another university in state that is under investigation because of you. Are you not comprehending that? Is that not getting through your skull? There's all that right now. Wait.
You're saying no matter what, NCAA investigations in place, the team should just stop playing until
the team should stop playing. What are you talking about? I'm sitting here saying that you guys you are under 2 investigations right now. 2.
Which ones?
The Big Ten. Yeah, sure, Bryce. Yeah, Bryce. Yeah. Cheeseburger. Fine. Whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
You guys are investigation for that. No, it was not a cheeseburger thing, Bryce. You broke COVID laws, laws by the conference that they put up during COVID, and you broke you were doing recruiting during the dead period. That's a recruiting violation, Bryce. What are you talking about?
Oh, and yeah. Thank you. It is. It's a recruiting violation.
And then you have another violation going on because you have a staffer doing something that's never been done before in the NCAA. That's been proven. That's no one's been dumb enough to be caught. So when you have we're talking about 3 years worth of it, and it was continuing into this year. So when you say
maybe longer. Maybe shorter.
Who knows, Bryce?
Who knows?
I'm going by what
that's the point.
No, Bryce. See, hold on. Let me ask you a question, Bryce. Did you actually read the letter sent by the Big Ten and Pettiti? Did you actually read it?
I was going to ask you to recite that to me because you said you read that.
Yes, Bryce. It clearly states in there they have evidence. They gave it to Michigan, and Pettiti states in there, Bryce. He says we gave it to them. And instead of actually acknowledging that or trying to refute it, they never did it. They never said that we did it. What they were more worried about was trying to drag on the investigation done by the NCAA. They didn't even refute it, Bryce. And
If
God,
you're
can we talk about the? I really want to talk about this game, and we're like,
I'm just trying to say, and you brought it up.
no, you brought it up, Bryce. I never mentioned Pettiti first. You did because you
Well, I
made a
did, but you
very
got upset
bad
about
comment. You made a very dumb comment. It was a very dumb comment. That's my opinion. That's my opinion.
You never bring down a punishment. You never bring down a verdict until the investigation to everything is complete. You just don't.
You know what, Bryce? Your program is the same program, and you acknowledge this, Bryce. You just acknowledged this last week. Your coach and Ward Manuel come out of his bunker to do this. They said anyone involved, anyone in that video should have been charged. They did that with no due process 10 minutes after the game.
I told you I disagreed with that.
No. So don't say, I just said that. I just said you did. So when you know that your own program does that, don't go out of your way to say, oh, it should be done for us.
Harrison, we're two idiots in our basements. We don't have an input into anything that goes on at the school or NCAA.
I'm not in my basement. I'm in my living room.
I'm telling you what I thought about that situation, and that same rule applies.
I just acknowledge it to you, Brett. So I'm saying
I know.
Well,
don't tie me in.
No. I'm saying I'm giving you an out. I'm saying you acknowledged it. What I'm saying is that your program, your coach, and your AD are the same people that did not want to give those guys the same due process, and now they're crying for it. You got a grown man on TV acting like his guy it's Veterans Day, and he's acting like his guy got shot in a war. No, he's at home. You saw him 3 hours ago, and you're about to go see him in 40 minutes. Like,
I'm telling you what I feel.
What a game.
Fine, we'll talk about the game. It was an insane football game.
Got me hot and heated. Got me hot and bothered right now. I'm sorry. What? Go.
A couple things to note. We'll dive in. I'm sure we'll circle back to this. Get you going again. Shaky start for Michigan. And we could probably break down every single series of that game and you have a good conversation. But I think really what it comes down to is a shaky, kind of slower start from Michigan. But man, to get to the first half, and it was really the theme of the whole game. Franklin's play calling, not his play, just his decision making. I don't get it. I should never have been worried because he's the coach. I don't know why I got worried about this game, but these decisions, the noticeable ones are like going for two when they scored their last touchdown. But then even in the first quarter,
Bryce, the first 2-point conversion was stupid.
Well, so the first quarter they had the ball on the 3-yard line, couldn't get it. It's fourth down. Mm-hmm. I don't know why you don't go for it there. I guess you take the point, sure, but then the first touchdown to go for 2. What are we chasing? They was down 14-3. You go up.
They scored that field goal on the first drive, right?
First or second drive, yeah.
It was the second drive. Bryce, after I saw my defense for the first time, I would have gone for that too. I mean, I would have gone for that touchdown, like you said, because I don't think Michigan was driving 95 yards in that defense.
Yeah, right. Because before that, you had 1 or 2 series where Michigan, I think they had a first down on the first series, but the second series they went 3 and out. And yeah, I agreed, man. To be pinned back in your own, I don't know. I just that and he fires his OC on, was it yesterday, Sunday?
Yeah, which was good. It was smart.
It's smart, but like you see the list of his OCs that he's gone through. Fired 3, I think, 2 or 3 quit.
The last 3 years.
That's just not. I don't know. But beside that, man, the offensive line. Let's talk about. I feel like I've seen your Twitter a little bit. Let's talk about the lack of passing in the second half. Mm-hmm. If you do follow me on Twitter,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bryce. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you. It's okay. We're fired up. We're both 10-0.
I didn't want to be
going
fired
into 2
up.
Weeks.
I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be calm and collected. And you just happen to grind my gears, and you shouldn't be.
Welcome to my world. I was a little perplexed. I said that in my tweet. I was a little perplexed why we weren't throwing the ball. Harbaugh. JJ was 7 for 8 or 6 for 8?
7 for 8, 60 yards, 7.5 per.
Yeah. He obviously in the first quarter, Chop was getting a lot of pressure.
That whole D-line was getting pressure.
Yeah, in the first 2 drives,
Chop.
though.
Chop was Barnhart?
Was beating Barnhart. It was bad. And eventually they had to bring a tight end over. But then even so, man, you see throughout the rest of the game too, like you can get creative when it comes to pressure. You can throw screens, you can roll the quarterback out, you can do play action. Like there's a lot you can do to kind of ease off some of that pressure. And so it's not like Michigan, JJ found himself where he was 2 for 12, or it's not like Michigan didn't have success early on. But daggone, man, they ran the ball 32 times straight. Now they did have a play action pass in there, and that was called a PI. So they did technically throw the ball one time second half, but it wasn't registered as a play, is the penalty.
Yeah.
And they ran the ball. They looked like a service. I've heard a few different things. I've heard they look like a service academy. They would have made Newt Rockne proud. I think that's the right guy. I don't know. I saw one picture of Black, and it was Michigan lined up in the mega set with Hinton and Trente Jones on the left side, and the photos in black and white, and it was grainy. If we can find that, we got to get that posted here. But
that was a great photo.
It was beautiful. So yeah, again, I was surprised by that, but then you kind of take a step back and you see what the reasons were, and to do that against the number 2 rushing defense, was insane.
Yeah, it was fun. I actually had an argument with Lawson the other day about this.
By the way, where has he been? I haven't seen him on Twitter recently. Is he not on Twitter much?
Been, but he's not allowed. But he decided to pop back up for me. Because so my whole this is how I feel about that. Okay, about how you guys played the game. I thought it was very clear and early that your tackles could not deal with their edge play, and knowing that the strength of their team is their pass rush and their secondary, especially at corner. And I said this to you last week. I think their corners are both better than your receivers. So with that being said, I think when Moore saw that early on, knowing that their edges go to the outside, they zoom on the outside. I thought it was smart and a really good game plan to go and put 6 to 7 linemen out there and run the ball at them. That's an undersized defensive line. And I was like just being biased by saying, I'm like, dude, like, I'm biased for giving your coach credit for making a smart move. Come on. And then I put a poll out, and even Michigan fans agree with me. So take that for Data Lawson. But
can't argue with numbers. Numbers never lie.
You can't. And so there's that. I mean, now I think I'm not going to count your guys' last drive. I think you guys had 7 drives in the second half. Now there was a few runs that Corum got loose on, especially that 44-yard touchdown after James Franklin stupidly went for it on 4th down.
That's another bad decision you made.
I just Bryce, for 7 possessions, Penn State had you guys at a single digit score. I mean, like from time, like they were single digits away from tying the game. I just didn't. And I don't even know if they would have been able to score, Bryce. But the thing is, for 7 possessions, you were down by 8 or less, and you couldn't get it, and you just. And I was perplexed, as you said. It was just a gutsy performance by Blake Corum. I do want to give him that credit, man. That's tough. I mean, because it wasn't like. I mean, even on third down and long, and this is why I was actually surprised by this, and I think this actually gives credence to my thought process. You guys punted the ball 3 times on 6 field drives in the second half. Touchdown, field goal, and I forgot what the other thing was. Maybe it was another punt. But no, you punted 3 times though. But you guys are running the ball on 3rd and 10. You know what that tells me, Bryce? Y'all didn't want to pass or see that pass rush. Because you could have easily pass the ball on 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10, as the normal person would do or normal team would do.
Yeah, a passing play.
But they didn't want to put themselves in that position. That's
why, again, I was like perplexed by it, because even if you feel like you have an advantage or you're playing to the strengths with a defense that has a really good secondary, which shout out Kalen King, Michigan-born kid, wanted to go, love Michigan growing up, decided to go to Penn State.
And his brother
0-3
Kobe.
against Michigan.
And his brother Kobe.
And his brother Kobe. Yeah, are they the same age or are they a year apart?
Kobe's older.
Yeah.
He's older. Year apart.
Yeah. So I think then the older one got the COVID victory. But you would think that if the defense has their strength on the edges, undersized interior line, and then strength in the backfield, you would assume that you would try to run the ball more. But like you said, even on the 3rd and long, you'd pass the ball. And again, you don't have to run, smash patterns every single play. You don't need to drop back and 5-step drop. You can get creative. JJ is one of the best quarterbacks in the country going outside the pocket. And there just must have been something, whether it was, and I haven't had the chance.
Y'all gotta stop running him. I've been on this, Bryce. He is slight and his frame is slight. Stop running him.
Yeah, but he was part of that threat though, man. He was part of the success yesterday.
Hey, he's gonna get hurt out there. He got hurt out there.
Yeah, you can't run against. You should never run the ball against Maryland next week, and you gotta save that threat for the Bucks. So yeah, dude. Real quick, couple of shout outs.
I'm sorry, Bryce. One second. This was the second half, and they couldn't capitalize on any of this. Penn State couldn't. Field goal, punt, touchdown. And then that's the end of the game. That you had I don't know. James Franklin might be the worst in-game coach I've ever seen in my life, and that's all I gotta say about that.
Remember how the game went too? Is that you can say they didn't capitalize, but Penn State got the ball back to start the second half. Well, they scored going in.
That was a fumble.
That was a holding call on Mason Graham. Got away with one. But they scored going into halftime. They got the ball back. They started to move. I think they had a couple first downs, and then then they had the fumble. Michigan got the ball back.
That was a turning point for me.
Well, and they went 40 plus yards and took up, I think it was like 6 or 7 minutes of clock. And then they got the field goal. And so that was kind of the theme throughout the game where.
Bryce, you guys took 8 minutes.
It was 8. Yeah. Thank you.
You guys went 13 plays, 45 yards, 8 minutes. That's insane. That's a full drive.
Yeah. And so, did Penn State have their chances? Sure. But they also really didn't, because you kick that field goal, and then you got to get the ball back, and then you don't score, and then Michigan gets a couple long drives. It's just, I imagine that Moore just saw that opportunity.
And can I ask you a question?
Take it.
All right. So let's say they punt the ball on that 4th down instead of going for it, right? That leads to Blake Corum's touchdown the next play. Bryce, did you have any confidence that your team is going to score on that next drive?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Why? Why would I not? We were able to move the ball.
No. Okay, hold on. Your first drive, the second half, 13 plays that we just talked about.
Yep.
Your next drive, 3 plays, punt. After that, 6 plays, punt. After that, 3 plays, punt, and then that's when the touchdown happens.
Yeah.
So I like I said, I don't like. It wasn't like you guys could drive like outside that first drive, the second half. It wasn't like you guys were moving the ball like that.
Oh, I just felt like the game flow was a little different. I thought there was, it's not like. Remember the first half against you guys last year? You guys were bringing the heat, and we couldn't do a thing with it, and it took us some, missed tackle on that comeback route. Like that one last year felt like, we can't move the ball. I didn't feel that last week. I thought that we were able to move the ball.
I mean, it says right. I mean, I'm reading it to you. 3 plays, 6 plays, 3 plays.
I know. I just didn't have that feeling. Like I felt like there was. I felt like we could have scored. I felt like we could have got points at least.
Okay.
At least a field goal.
Okay.
Let's talk about. I want to give a shout out Makari Page. I feel like I haven't talked about him much this year. He played a heck of a game. A couple big hits, big tackles. Obviously had the fumble recovery. Just he felt like he was everywhere, and he hasn't got a lot of love this year. All right, let's talk about the post-game interview real quick.
Real quick.
Oh.
I hope and pray Urban doesn't go to Texas A&M.
I wore this sweatshirt today for my brother in arms I can't say brother in arms. That's not right. But my Aggie faithful down here in Texas. Would you take Dion or Urban?
Urban.
I think so. I think you got to take Urban. Proven. Imagine him at A&M. Oh my
One day,
gosh.
one day, I want to have a conversation with you. I put this question on Twitter. Do you think Texas A&M or Michigan's a better program? And what job would you take? But we can ask that another day.
Yeah, I think that's a great question.
Mhm.
Let's save that. Let's table that for the offseason.
Yeah.
Write that down. All right. Let's talk about the postgame interview here. You didn't like it.
It's not that I didn't
like
like it. I thought it was some of the most baby back. Hi, mom. Some
How
of
can
those.
you say that? I don't get it. Like, honestly,
All right. So
give me your real opinion.
No, my honest opinion. Who got shot and killed? I'm sorry. Like
But
what?
you, sorry, go ahead.
No. Like listen, if we're gonna sit here and talk about, I don't know where Lou Holtz is right now. If you guys want to make fun about that, well, my coach keeps a straight face, and in that is talking about how he feels his players are disrespected, and that's what he's talking about. Then I'm gonna sit here and talk about this grown ass man who comes on national television after the game, and right after saying praise Jesus, goes and drops an F bomb. Listen, man. Yeah, you didn't think I was gonna bring that up, did you? Yeah, shame on you. Slap on the wrist. But not you, buddy. You're Sharon Moore. Because I just want to thank God. F bomb. Boom. Like, come on. Like, but anyway, yeah, exactly. But no, listen, man. Like, listen, like it's he literally said the F word on national.
No, I said I don't know about you. Yeah, I heard him say it.
Oh, okay.
He also said,
But no, I just don't like it. It was just over the top. It looked kind of like I get you guys might have like a tough week, but like I said to you earlier, Bryce, like I'm sorry, did you not just see the guy? Are you not about to go see him in a couple minutes here? It's just, and my thing was, I said this to a guy the other day. I said, dude, I have seen so many coaches suspended, and I have never seen a coach in my life, an interim coach, do that BS. That looked weird, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. It looked weird. I'm not sitting here saying you can't cry. Listen, man, I'm someone that is a big advocate for mental health. That guy, and everyone's talking about, oh, he goes, that crap don't got anything to do with mental health. That was a grown man on national television looking like a damn fool. That's what that was. And it like let's have some decorum. All right. How about you go after the game? You answer these questions professionally. You don't sit there and sob like a child. How about that?
okay,
And then and then hold. And like I said earlier, you don't get to sit here and wear a Michigan versus everybody sweater and play the villain and then go and act like a victim. Bryce, me and you have had a lot of personal conversations. We talk about people that act like victims. He was acting like a victim. Your players went to the press conference and act like victims. That's what they're doing. And I want you to keep the same energy that we keep about real conversations, and you hold your team accountable. And you do the same.
You're okay, and I tweeted about this. I said that I can understand why people would take that clip, especially out of context, and be like, "This looks stupid." I think you got to look at it through the lens of you went the whole week. You expected news before Friday, and then you get the news Friday. You think that maybe by Saturday morning you'll have a maybe direction or answer. You didn't get any news on that till an hour before the game. I just think everything these players went through, because we can agree, like the players had nothing to do with this. I don't think. I think it's safe to say they didn't.
Usually players don't, Bryce. Usually
yeah.
when you're
So the players didn't
collateral
have
damage.
anything to do with this. And so the players are kind of falling victim to poor decisions that they didn't make. Is that fair? I'm not saying that they're falling victim.
Yes, they're collateral damage. They are collateral damage.
And they had to deal with all this. And we talked about this last week. How much can you really shut out? I don't know how much you really can shut out. And so they're dealing with all of this. They have the biggest game. There's also all of this talk about how they haven't played a big game. How good is this team? And they go out there and do that. And your offensive line coach, offense coordinator, and then / head coach for that afternoon, who said, we're going to just run the ball, be tough. You see Blake Corum's face all scratched up.
And then your media goes and edits it and puts the blood. That's crazy. That's insane.
I don't know about that. But so the I get it. Like at the moment, I was getting fired up when I saw that. So I'm just gonna say.
And then when you watch it, minus the beer and your high emotions of being a Michigan fan, when you watch it for yourself.
No. And you talk to coaches. I've heard coaches talk about it. They get fired up about it. They get it. And in that moment, again, if he's crying right now in an interview today in his press conference, that's weird. But to be in that moment, in that game that was so tough and so smash mouth, and then to come out on top like that, more power to you, Sharon. More power to you, coach. All right, let's talk about.
How about your girl pair? Huh?
That's disgusting. That's disgusting. And you got another guy on the other side of the conference or the other side of the division yelling at an 86-year-old geriatric for some spoof interview. Don't even. I'll hear non-Buckeyes talk about it, but when Buckeye fans talk about Sharon being a baby.
Listen, Bryce, I'm a guy that likes a good cry. Seeing a grown man cry like that on national television about another grown man that's not there to coach is weird.
I want to see where Lou Holtz is at. Where's Lou Holtz at right now? Those guys are tough. My guys are tough. That was a really good impression.
Get out of here, bro.
That was bad.
Stop.
Mine was better. Hey,
Stop.
we only have a couple minutes here, so talk about Michigan State and your little Diet Coke uniforms, which they weren't doing it for me on TV.
They probably don't. I can care less. Those jerseys are hot. Better than
They
anything
didn't
you
match
guys.
the helmet.
Bryce, have you ever watched
The gray didn't
Alabama? Bryce, have you ever watched like Alabama, Tennessee? Their helmets because of the scheme of it, the helmet doesn't match the jersey usually. Most teams that do that, Bryce, their helmets don't match the jersey.
That's preposterous. Yes, they do.
All right, I'll send you a picture. We can
Send me a pic.
I'm gonna send you a hella pictures, and we're just gonna post them right here so you can see it for yourself. So I'm gonna be very, very concise about what I want to talk about here, and I'm gonna be very concise and very intentional.
Please.
It was Michigan State. That's not the bar. That's not what it is. But I'm very, very clear on this. If Kyle was to go out and have an average or bad performance, he would have been crapped on for that. Correct?
By Michigan fans or Ohio State fans?
By Michigan fans, Ohio State fans, by media, all that. Do you agree with that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he'd be crapped on either way from Michigan fans, but I see what you're saying. From Ohio State fans, yeah.
That guy went out there and that was his best game of the year. His feet, perfection. His eyes, decision-making, perfection. His release, perfection. It was just, Bryce, so how many times have I said to you, Bryce, his highs are high, his lows are low. If he can put it all together at once, it's going to look really good. It's going to look really good. And I'll just go ahead and say it, man. I'm very proud of that guy. That was some good quarterbacking right there. That was some good quarterback. He looked no different from the last few quarterbacks that played against Michigan State from Ohio State. No different. I need to see it. If I see it next week against Minnesota, I believe he can do it in the Michigan game. And I'm not sitting here saying he's going to tear Michigan's defense up, but if I see it 2 weeks in a row, like one time, Bryce, probably a coincidence. Back to back. Now we got something churning here. Marvin Harrison Jr. is the best player in college football, and it's not a conversation. I'm not sitting here saying he's going to win the Heisman, but what I do know is that he is the best wide receiver, and he's the best offensive player, and he's the best player in college football. Two receiving touchdowns, 1 rushing. Our first 3 drives are all touchdowns to him. I don't know what Danny Cannell and Booger McFarland, you guys are idiots saying that Keon Coleman is better than Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't even know how that even starts up and where you get off saying such buffoonery.
How much credit do you give to Marvin for Kyle's success, though? I mean, Garrison, look at the stats. Marvin Harrison, 7 for 149. Cade, 7 for 79. But then Johnson,
Emeka took himself out. Emeka took himself out. And I do, maybe you don't know this or some Michigan fans don't know this. this is very normal for Ryan Day to do this. Last year, Ryan Day came out and said after the Notre Dame game when JSN got hurt, a third of those pass plays are meant for JSN. I'm going to highly assume, Bryce, it's the same way. It's the same thing for Marvin Harrison Jr. And that's the reason why he plays every single position on the field at wide receiver and moves around the field.
Because I agree.
Yes, Marvin gets some. If Marvin played for Michigan, Bryce, some of JJ's stats will be credited would be because of Marvin being Marvin. But what I don't like doing is saying because of these guys, because of the wide receivers, that's why he's that good. CJ Stroud for 2 years had the greatest stretch of wide receiver play in college football history, in my opinion. That means nothing. Because we see it in the NFL.
CJ is special. I do.
Yeah, he is. He is special. But same thing for Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow was good no matter what. So, yeah, I mean, I've said Kyle McCord's been playing good quarterback. He's been a good quarterback all year, but he's only been good. And good when you get to the playoffs, good ain't enough.
Yeah, I mean, you guys almost beat Georgia last year with excellent quarterback play.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I just think I'm not trying to poo-poo on Kyle. I think he's a defined quarterback, whatever. But I just think Marvin is, and I've said this all year long, I think he's the best player in college football.
Yeah. If
not one of the best. And you see him get wide open. You see him make catches that I don't think every receiver can make.
No. Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, McCord will have a shot in 2 weeks. He should torch Minnesota.
But like I said, he did we don't need Kyle to be CJ. No. But what I do know is this. If that's the Kyle we're getting, no one's beating us. Now with that run game we have, now with Marvin, now with Emeka, now with Stover, and definitely now with that defense we have. Because for the last 2 years, Bryce, Ohio State even had an inkling of an average defense. Well, last year's defense was more than average. It was above average. But if we had a really good defense, I mean a top 20, a top 10 defense for the last 2 years, I think we would have championship both years, or at least one, especially last year.
Yeah, with all that talent.
So if Kyle's gonna play like this, man, I'm not sitting here saying against you guys or he's get 300 yards. I'm not saying he has to do that. But if he can sit here and make good decisions, make fast decisions, get through his reads. Our offensive line is playing good football right now too. Can't forget that.
Yeah.
They're hitting this drive.
We'll see, man. We'll see.
They're hitting this drive. Oh, in Central Michigan, because we have a minute left yet. Hellfire and brimstone's coming your way.
You heard it here first.
And by Mount Pleasant, you guys can keep the casino. We like it over there.
Hey, did you see my Jersey video just take off?
Huh?
That was nuts.
Oh yeah. I guess
that was 45,000 views.
Insane.
Your boy was trying.
My boy. I
I love you.
Love you too, man. Oh, my camera. Let's go.
Yeah.